How is it going today, everybody? Today we are looking at the fourth volume of Chip Zdarsky's Daredevil, and it is pretty great. The plot is a bit complicated, but before I talk about that, let me just talk about it overall. It's pretty great. It's pretty awesome, actually. Like the art and everything. Giacchetto is also back, but he only does the last two issues. The first couple issues are actually by a guy named Funes. I don't know his full name because I don't feel like reading it right now, but he came back from like the second volume, and his art is absolutely great as well. I like that art, and I like Giacchetto's art. The art overall is fantastic. The writing is fantastic. So is the characterization. I just enjoy all of it. It's just a really good volume, and honestly, it keeps getting better. Like I said in like the first video, this comic series, this like run is absolutely crazy on how good it is. So anyway, let's get into it. The plot's a bit complicated, but I'm gonna try to explain it at the best of my abilities. So basically, this happens after the events of the third volume where Daredevil and Elektra finally team up. After doing the whole, devil's tango in a hotel, because I guess they're just like that, they decided to come up with a plan to take out the Stromwinds. The guys who, jumped Wilson Fisk and nearly killed him, put him in a hospital. Yeah, they're going to go for him now because they realize that they're the most powerful people in New York. And they're the reasons why there's no cops in Hell's Kitchen and why Hell's Kitchen is a total hellscape. You see what I did there? Hell's Kitchen, hellscape. I'm corny. Anyway, it's pretty good. So they go over to their place at night where there's like a giant party or something, and they go and hack into their servers to take around a couple $1 billion. While they're doing that, the Stromans also have ninja bodyguards. Yes, actual fucking ninjas that actually guard their place because I guess regular personnel will scare the other people. So yeah, they take the millions of dollars, and Daredevil beats up the ninjas because he's back in action and way stronger than what he used to be, and is way more focused now. So, he's doing really good for himself finally. After they go back to the hotel, Elektra finally states that she actually took about $1 billion for herself for something she's making. Matt doesn't like that, so he storms off, but there's a little twist at the end of that issue where Elektra actually knows Daredevil's identity. You see, a little bit ago, everybody knew who Daredevil was because of comic shenanigans, and then now nobody knows who Daredevil is anymore because also comic shenanigans. The reason is because the Purple Children, who are like the children of the Purple Man, the guy who like talks to you and forces you to comply to his will, they managed to find like a device that deleted everybody's memory of Matt Murdock being Daredevil, but apparently Elektra knows somehow, so that's kind of strange. And Daredevil doesn't know this until much later on, but we'll get into that when we do. So anyway, moving on, Matt goes over to his client's house to talk about him. Apparently his client doesn't want to see him. His client also knows that he's Daredevil as well because of that whole guard thing where he fought the cops in their prison. And he found out he was Daredevil because he just changed in front of him. Not really smart, Matt. Not really smart. So obviously the kid told his mom, and his mom is telling him because also, I don't think I ever mentioned this, to give context, Matt's client is actually the brother of the guy Matt accidentally killed. And so, like, when he found out that the guy's mother knows who he is, he's, like, really breaking down. But she's just like, nah, I forgive you. What you did was bad, and it did hurt me, but I can tell you're punishing yourself way more than I can ever punish you. So, that's really wholesome. Anyway, with Detective Cole North, he decides to go back into the police and tell them, listen, I'm going to take care of this. I'm going to stop this whole police not being able to help the Hell's Kitchen, and you're not going to stop me. And they don't stop him. You see, Detective Cole North, he wants to take out the Owl, who's like making moves into Hell's Kitchen, and he wants all of it. And speaking of the Owl, he's not having a good time because Hammerhead and the family that Matt had dinner with, the Labrie family, who are also like a crime family, they decided to, get together so they could take out the Owl. Unfortunately, Hammerhead isn't exactly the the playing together type, and he starts killing everybody who he thinks has connections to the owl. And the head of the Labrie family, the old lady that we talked about, she didn't like that very much. So she shot him in the head because he's being a bit too rude, and they don't like that very much. And he also doesn't really inspire a lot of loyalty, if you will. So the guys that were with him are now with the Labrie family. So that's pretty funny. Getting shot by your own man, that's insane. That's absolutely diabolical. Anyway, Matt decides to give another face-to-face visit to the Stromwyns. And obviously not technically face-to-face, he still puts a mask on. And he's like asking them, why are you here? Why are you doing this? And, it's the basic evil rich people answers. Rise up the crime and bring down the property levels so they could sell it to other people, blah, 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 politics, rich white people, shit like that. Yeah, they didn't like that very much, so they called the guards against him. Matt manages to get away, but he's feeling a bit overwhelmed because obviously he's going against the most powerful family in New York at that time, so it's not looking too good for him. Also, speaking back to like the whole gang war and stuff like that, the chick that Matt was having an affair with, she's trying to get away from all of that, but her husband came back and he's just like, listen, my mom, she's got this all covered and she's going to take care of it. That didn't work out well because the Owl's men come and take the chick's daughter from him, so that's not really good. That's not covering very much, and the lady is very upset, so she calls Matt. Matt's just like, oh god, we need to help her, and Matt calls Cole. And Cole goes to rally up all the cops and gives this really rousing speech about being a good cop and you gotta help out these people, blah, 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 blah. The whole spiel. So they go and hunt out the guys that kidnapped the girl. The place wasn't there, so instead they found out that they were on the highway running out of there. So Matt, Cole, and all the other police officers go and manage to catch up to the guy and manage to convince the guy to, not kill a child. Because that'd be fucking insane. Why would you do that? Yeah, so they managed to help that. But unfortunately, things aren't going as well as we hoped it would be. Because the Stromwyns decide that, waiting for Hell's Kitchen to go to the shitter, it's just taking too long. So they hire a bunch of supervillains, specifically Bullseye, Crossbones, Rhino, some dude named Bullet, and Stiltman. Yes, Stiltman, that guy. The guy who, gets taller. Stiltman, yeah, he's also there too, I guess. So, yeah, things are going a bit insane. Hell's Kitchen is going insane. It's like Iran or Iraq. It's a giant fucking war zone, and it's not very good. It's not good whatsoever. Matt is just realizing this, and he's just like, we gotta get there. We gotta get there fast. So they drive over to Hell's Kitchen, while the people of Hell's Kitchen decides to put on Daredevil masks and, try to fight back against the villains who are literally blowing up buildings and trying to cause havoc. It's not working too well, and one guy gets killed by, nearly killed by Bullseye. Matt, realizing that people need Daredevil and that Daredevil isn't something he could just throw away whenever he wants, takes the guy's mask and put it on and realizes that he's got to fight them. So he does, and it's the most badass thing you will ever see. He's just beating them up left and right, using his new skills to manage to beat Bullseye, manage to stop the Rhino by putting a knife handle into his throat and stopping him from there. He managed to beat Stiltman by blowing up his legs because Stiltman was throwing bombs everywhere. Also, there was Typhoid Mary. I didn't really talk about this in the last videos, but Matt was going to a church where he was talking to this nun, Sister Elizabeth, and apparently Sister Elizabeth is Typhoid Mary. Mary is known for having dissociative identity disorder, so they probably just created that personality so that she won't, go insane. But, Rhino was going to break down a church, so she decided to come out and, save the people who are going into the church. Also there was Wilson Fisk. He got out of the hospital. He's doing way better now, and he's kicking ass with Daredevil, and it's absolutely wholesome. Well, they don't want to say that they was kicking ass with him, but whatever. Anyway, the bad guys are beaten. The Havoc is stopped, and Daredevil decides to turn himself in because he's been running from the law long enough, and now it's time to let himself go to jail. That's right, Daredevil is going to jail in the next volume, and that's going to be crazy. Let me tell you, I've read it, and it's insane, but that's it for today. So yeah, as I said, it's a great volume, like a 9 out of 10 for me, and I absolutely love it. I hope more people read this. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you like, what you don't like, and I'll see you next time.